Good afternoon and welcome back to Bratislava in Slovakia for the final session in this, the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup 2 from Bratislava in Slovakia. It's extreme canoe slalom time, so head-to-head racing down the whitewater course, and well, I'm hugely excited ahead of this. We saw some great action in Lee Valley in World Cup 1 in this new event to the canoe slalom program. So the conditions here, well, it's the rain has cleared up and we're ready for action. Myself, Andy Maddock, will bring you all the action as it happens, and alongside me in the commentary box for this session, Bethan Furrow from the British team, a gold medalist at the World Championships last year in the team event and finalist in the women's C1 event. So welcome, Bethan, to the booth. So here it is, our start list. So we have quarterfinals up first with the men's kayak, and we've got 4 quarterfinal races, 4 boats in each of the rounds, and the top 2 will progress through into the semi-finals. So the rules of extreme slalom, quite simple indeed, and we'll talk it through because we're going to get underway with this, the first quarterfinal. And we've got Boris Raniak of Slovakia wearing bib number 1. Then we have Fredrik Valen of Sweden wearing bib number 2. Joris Otten of the Netherlands wearing bib number 3. Here's Boris Raniak of Slovakia wearing that bib number 1. So he's the top seed and gets to choose the line for this course. Then it's Fredrik Valen of Sweden. Well, we've seen him in action in the semi-finals of the men's K1 event, and him in the blue boat. Next for the Netherlands, Joris Otten wearing bib number 3 in that yellow boat, black helmet. And then finally for Kazakhstan, we have Yunis Yerengaipov wearing bib number 4. So all the boats are lined up, and we'll talk you through the course as soon as they start. So we're underway with racing, head-to-head racing. The top 2 will go through to the semi-final, and it's an early lead for, well, it's carnage there, and it looks like, let's just see where we're at. It looks like bib number 1 and bib number 4 cleanly through. So that's Boris Raniak of Slovakia, and it's Yunis Yerengaipov of Kazakhstan at the moment. Now, they had to negotiate the green gate, so that's the downstream gate. Then they had the roll gate. Now, into the upstream gates, 3. It doesn't matter which one they do, they just must do one of these gates. And then down through gate 4 to the same side of as the number is hanging. And there's confirmation, Joris Otten is disqualified for missing gate 1. So it looks like the home paddler from Slovakia, Boris Raniak, wearing bib number 1, is going to progress through and over the big drop here in Bratislava and into the semi-final. Well done to Boris Raniak. Now there's a battle going on for who's going to take that second spot, and it looks rather like it's going to be bib number 4 for Kazakhstan. Yunis Yerengaipov provisionally takes that second spot in the semi-final. It looks like Fredrik Valen is eliminated at this stage of the competition. We'll get those results soon. So it's fast and furious here in Bratislava. Your reflections so far, Bethan?
I think gate 1 for sure is going to be catching people out today. It's a shame for Fredrik. I think he was disqualified too. I think Fredrik rolled under the gate. That must have been pretty nasty. I know it's pretty shallow down there.
Well, here we see the start, and Fredrik in the blue boat got off to a great start, but then he got squeezed out on gate 1, and all the line really for Boris Raniak in the red boat leading the way. He had a pretty clean route into that semi-final, and behind him the battle was going on. Here we have our second qualifier for Kazakhstan. So this is extreme canoe slalom here at Bratislava in Slovakia, and head-to-head racing.
Crazy when it goes wrong.
Well, but I think that's part of the excitement. It's a lot of people who enjoy the sport of canoe slalom, I'm sure you're the same, enjoy the sort of the adrenaline rush of challenging the white water, and this adds an extra dimension. So straight into the second of our quarterfinals, and first up is Pedro Goncalves of Brazil, wearing bib number 1 in the blue boat on the left-hand side there. Then we have Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan, wearing bib number 2 in the red boat on the left. Then it's Michał Wojs of Poland, wearing bib number 3. And our final competitor in this second quarter-final, it is Maxim Zhabanov from the Russian Federation. So they're under starters' orders. Well, we're racing, and Pedro Goncalves gets a great start wearing bib number 1 in the blue boat as they launch themselves down towards gate 1. Looks like they're all safely through there, through gate 1 and 2. And, well, going for the roll gate, they have to go all the way over and back up the other side. And they're all successfully through there. So at the moment, in number order. So it is Pedro Goncalves leading for Brazil. And, well, there's an order change here, though. It looks like Pedro Goncalves still leading. And at the moment, it's bib number 3. So it's Michał Wojs of Poland has come through on the first of the upstream gates. Will it change again? It's very tight going on. They're all battling for the same upstream gate 6. So Pedro Goncalves goes over the drop and into the semi-final. And, well, look at that. It is bib number 2. It is Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan that provisionally takes the other spot in that semi-final. But there we go. The winner of the second quarter-final, Pedro Goncalves of Brazil. And he is through to the semi-final.
Michael Voss was so unlucky there, just got stuck behind the Russian. They had a battle in the up gate 6 and he just got pinned up against the wall.
Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it? You can see Pedro Goncalves of Brazil, he never looked back. He got a good start off the ramp and he was never interfered. But the real challenge is when you're going neck and neck. And yeah, bib 2 and 3 there from Kazakhstan and Poland had a real battle down the course all the way. And in the end, it was Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan who I think came out in the, well, into the semi-final. We'll get confirmation very shortly of the final result from this, the second quarter-final here in Bratislava. And, well, there's no doubt who won there. Pedro Goncalves of Brazil goes through into the semi-final.
That's definitely going to be the aim, to get out and off the blocks first. I think if you're heading out on your own, you can have a pretty safe run, but once you're head-to-head, it can get pretty full-on.
Well, we've seen their confirmation. It was Martin Stanovsky joining Pedro Goncalves of Brazil into the semi-final. So next up, it's quarter-final 3. And first, wearing bib number 1, Etienne Chappell of Great Britain, who, of course, won this competition last weekend in World Cup 1 back in Lee Valley. Was it only a week ago? And then wearing bib number 2, Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation. Then Yaroslav Ziazablo wearing bib number 3 for Poland. And then for Mauritius, Terence Saramandif wearing bib number 4. So they are ready for action now, under starters' orders. Well, the tension builds, and it looks like Etienne Chappell in the red boat has the early advantage wearing bib number 1. Then, well, it's a close battle going on, but they are strung out now. So bib number 3 is Yaroslav Zaziablo in the yellow boat. So at the moment it is Etienne Chappell and Yaroslav Zaziablo who are leading the way. Etienne Chapel now clean out in front, wearing bib number 1. Zaziablo still in the yellow boat, still in second place. But there's a bit of a battle. It is bib number... Just need confirmation there that Terence Saramandiv, wearing bib number 4, is eliminated because he has failed to negotiate the first gate correctly. But at the moment, it is bib number 2 coming over the drop, and that's actually Alexander Nepogodin of Russian Federation. So my apologies there. Etienne Chapel of Great Britain, the winner from last weekend, takes the win and goes through into the semi-final. And then it looks like Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation, wearing bib number 2, joins Etienne in that semi-final.
That was a nice clean run from Etienne. I think he'll be pleased with that and be looking to repeat that in the semis for sure. But I think he's got a lot of expectation from winning last weekend.
Well, yes, and a lot of experience now of racing in this kind of event. And, well, when you look at it, off the start there, Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation got a really late start off the ramp. But he came through. He had to battle it out, as we see here. But in the end, it looks like he has made it through. We'll get confirmation of the qualifiers for the semi-final in just a few moments' time. So it is Etienne Chapel who goes through, and Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation joins him in the semi-final. And it's goodbye at this stage to Yaroslav Zaziablo from Poland and Terence Saramandiv of Mauritius. So thick and fast they come down this course, and already we're now into the final of our men's extreme canoe slalom quarterfinals. And well, that start list is just a moment behind the next quarterfinal. Quarterfinal 4 will feature, well, the popular Vavra Hradlek. There he is for the Czech Republic, who, well, he won the inaugural event that was staged in 2017 at Po at the World Championships. And Vavra Hradlek is wearing bib number 1. He has the good lane draw based on his seeding in the time trial. Then it's Max Carlsen wearing bib number 2 for Sweden. Then it's Oisin Farrell for Ireland, wearing bib number 3. And our final competitor is Samuel Stanovsky of Latvia, wearing bib number 4. We're racing here in Bratislava, and once again, bib number 1 gets a good start. That's Vavra Hradlek of the Czech Republic. What a landing he has there, though, as he jumps over the wall. So it's Hradlek leading the way. Then it is bib number 2, which is Max Carlsen of Sweden. And already bib number 3, Oisin Farrell, is eliminated for missing the first gate. Squeezed out on the entry. And there's a clear advantage at the moment for Vavra Hradlek of the Czech Republic. Just able to cruise down, control his pace now. Max Carlsen for Sweden in the green boat is looking comfortable. And then it is a little bit behind Samuel Stanovsky of Latvia. And of course, Oisin Farrell eliminated. So it's pretty much a procession in this quarterfinal. Yeah, for sure. I know Vavra would definitely have been looking to meet Etienne in the final again. I know he gave Etienne a pretty hard time in the final at Lee Valley, and didn't let Etienne take the win lightly at all. Well, that's setting up nicely, but of course they're both going to go into the same semi-final. 2 out of the 4 will go through, but it will start to tighten up now. So there we see it. Vavra Hradlek of the Czech Republic is, well, he holds the lead from the start and he never lets it out of his grasp. Max Carlsen will also join him in the semi-final, and eliminated at this stage Samuel Stanovsky of Latvia and Oisin Farrell of Ireland.
Am I right to say there'll be 2 semi-finals?
So next up will be the women's semi-finals. But here's the results. Vavra Hradnek of the Czech Republic goes through alongside Max Carlsen of Sweden. And here's the overall results. So the quarterfinal 1, quarterfinal 2, we'll see a lineup of, well, the winners, Boris Raniak of Slovakia against Pedro Goncalves of Brazil. And then Etienne Chappell, the winner from last weekend of Great Britain, will go in head-to-head with Vavra Hradnek of the Czech Republic. That should be an exciting semi-final, the second one.
For sure. They'll definitely put on a show.
So head-to-head racing, and well, you could say that the favourites have gone through, and whilst that might be quite predictable, it's quite good for us because I think it's going to bring a big showdown, as you touched on, in that semi-final.
Yeah, we'll definitely make it more exciting. Hopefully we'll see a bit more action.
Well, we're into the women's semi-finals, and well, all of women will qualify through to the final. Essentially, this is a warm-up round, but it'll give us an indication of just who the key contenders are. They're just getting ready on the ramp, the first of our 2 semi-finalists. So the ramp here is, well, it's even tactics to get started. You can see most people will have one hand on their paddle and use their paddle as a bit of a push, and one hand on the ramp itself. But our first competitor is Zuzana Balachiova of Slovakia, wearing bib number 1. And then we're just waiting, I think, a new boat change here. So in the blue boat, we will very shortly have bib number 2. Just getting ready. Of course, these boats are different to the boats we've seen in the action so far this weekend. These are plastic boats designed a little bit more for this kind of extreme paddling, a bit more durable. And yes, bib number 2, Daria Kuznetsova from the Russian Federation. So they're under starters' orders. Well, it's the yellow boat away first for Slovakia, and well, a clear advantage so far. Well, you pretty much land on a rock on game 1. It's a good job they've got a nice sturdy boat there.
Yeah, that did not look very comfortable for Zuzana at all.
Well, it is still Zuzana leading the way, bib number 1, doing the roll gate, and Daria now completes the roll gate successfully and into the upstream gate 3. So remember, the competitors only have to do one of they can choose which side they do, one of the upstream gates 3. And it is still Zuzana Balachiova of Slovakia leading the way, comfortably ahead of Daria Kuznetsova of the Russian Federation. And now just looking behind to see how close they are together. One more upstream gate, and then it's the drop over this nearly 3-meter drop here on this course, just fed by the River Danube, a famous river flowing through the centre of Europe. But it is going to be Zuzana Balachiova of Slovakia who wins the first semi-final. There we are, confirmation on the screen. She is through to the final, and to join her will be Daria Kuznetsova of the Russian Federation. And there's the slow-mo, the Slovak paddler really getting off to a good start. Apart from it would appear you sort of drop onto some rocks between the start and that first of the downstream gates. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, these eddies in Bratislava, a slalom boat would tell you they're not very deep at all. Yeah, I'd be very appreciative of having a plastic boat to be dropping down.
And your experience of this whitewater, even if you take the gates away from this whitewater course, pretty technical. How would you describe it?
Oh, it's It's definitely one of the hardest courses I've paddled. It's quite a pushy course. In a slalom boat, you'd like to stay on top of the water, but like when it goes wrong here, yeah, it can go pretty bad with it being quite shallow.
Well, we've seen quite a lot of that over the course of this weekend here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. And there's confirmation, Zuzana Balejova of Slovakia through alongside Daria Kuznetsova. So it's an all-American semi-final. And we have Evie Liebvarth of the United States of America there, smiling away, and she's got a right to smile. She's been in the final of the K1 women and the C1 women events, and of course, only 15 years old.
Yep.
And then Ashley Nee, the experienced American, wearing bib number 2. It's a straight head-to-head here. It'll be interesting to see who gets the advantage and whether it's that lane 1 again. Well, Ashley Nee gets a good start, and will she squeeze out? She does. She squeezes out Evie on that first gate. So in the blue boat, Ashley Nee now coming down through gate 2, closely followed by Evie Liebvarth of the United States of America. Both complete the roll, although Evie just a little bit stalled, gets into the slacker water, and you can see how quickly the advantage grows for Ashley Nee wearing bib number 2. So this section here in front of the grandstand is, well, a little bit of a respite before you get into the faster water again. Ashley Nee comfortably ahead of Evie Liebvarth, and well, it's going to be USA 1, USA 2. Both will progress into the Extreme Canoe Slalom final. Ashley Nee, wearing bib number 2, takes the win. But Evie Liebvarth close behind, and if she can get a better start, then I would expect her to be a contender in the final.
Yeah, these girls would be definitely looking to test out, well, the water and see what line that they would preferably have.
Well, here we see the start, and we see that Ashley Nee got a better start, and well, never really looked back from there. So it'd be interesting to see Evie Liebvarth what she does on the second opportunity in the final. And equally, that line there, the roll was good, but Evie ended up in the slacker water, and you can see the gap between them grew quite significantly at that point. So all 4 competitors will be in action very shortly with the women's kayak extreme canoe slalom finals. There'll be 2 Americans, and Slovakia and Russia racing it out. Well, we've had a great weekend of racing here in Bratislava, Slovakia for the World Cup 2. In this action, of course, will be in action again next weekend in Slovenia with the World Cup 3 just outside Ljubljana on the famous Tartan course. And you can follow all the action on Planet Canoe next weekend. But their confirmation, Ashley Nee takes the win in the second semi-final ahead of Evie Liebvarth, and the 4 finalists now confirmed: Balejova of Slovakia, Liebvarth of America, and Nee of the United States of America, and Kuznetsova of the Russian Federation. But no sooner as we're done with the women's semis as we're into the men's semi-finals. And here we are up. So 2 semi-finals, and the athletes preparing head-to-head for the racing. Here's the start list. It's Boris Raniak, Pedro Goncalves, Martin Stanovsky, and Kwiasz Jerengaipov will lead this first semi-final. Radlek Chapel, Nepogodin, and Carlson will take it in that second semi-final. Only the top 2 from each semi-final will progress into the Extreme Canoe Slalom final. Boris Raniak of Slovakia wearing bib number 1, and arguably with the advantage off the start. Then it is Pedro Goncalves of Brazil wearing bib number 2, better known as Pepe. Then it is wearing bib number 3, Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan. And then again for Kazakhstan, Ioannis Yerengaipov wearing bib number 4. Well, we're away, and a great start from Pedro Goncalves of Brazil. He goes into the lead at a critical time, and it looks also like bib number 1 has been squeezed out on the top. Have to wait and see, and it is. So it's Pedro Goncalves leading the way, and then in second place at the moment it is Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan. Wearing bib number 3, it is Goncalves of Brazil, Stanovsky of Kazakhstan, and then it looks like bib number 4, Ioannis Yerengaipov of Kazakhstan, and then right at the back it's Slovakia's Boris Raniak has got squeezed out. So tough racing, and they all got squeezed out at the start of the race.
Yeah, he got a little bit stuck in the eddy line of the roll gate. Just really unlucky there as he was chasing down bib number 3, Martin Stanovsky.
Well, come on there, says Pedro Goncalves of Brazil. Well done, you are into this afternoon's final. And the extreme slalom final there, he gets it off the start. Look at that, the blue boat. And he didn't look back from there, but the big shock there is Boris Raniak of Slovakia. Squeezed out, he got the best lane draw, but he was actually disqualified. And so it is Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan who progresses alongside Pedro Goncalves of Brazil into the extreme canoe slalom final. Brazil, of course, have already won a medal today. Anna Shatila taking the bronze medal in the women's C1 event. Well, can they add to their tally? Well, not long to wait until we see who is going to deliver. There we have it, the confirmation of the results. Pedro Goncalves of Brazil qualifies into the final alongside Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan. And unfortunately, Ioannis Yerengaipov and Boris Raniak both eliminated at this stage of the competition. So we're straight up to the top of the course for the second semi-final, and well, this one I think is going to be a tight race. So we've got Radilek, Chapel, Nepogodin and Carlson all racing it out. But leading the way, wearing bib number 1, Vavrinek Radilek of the Czech Republic. First world champion in this event. Then Etienne Chapel of Great Britain, wearing bib number 2, the winner of last weekend's event. Then wearing bib number 3, Alexander Nepogodin. They're all looking very relaxed on the top. I'm sure they're not. And Max Carlson for Sweden lights up in bib number 4.
Ready, go!
Well, we're racing. A slow start there for Nepogodin of the Russian Federation. But where are we at? Well, it looks like Etienne Chapel's been pushed out and missed gate 1. So it looks like Vavra Radilek in the blue boat has taken the early lead. And, well, Nepogodin is back in the mix, wearing bib number 3. That would be my take at this stage in the competition. So Etienne Chapel, I think, well, we'll have to wait and see any confirmation, but it looked like Etienne Chapel, winner from last weekend, was pushed out of gate 1, and potentially even Max Carlson had some problems at the top.
Etienne would be absolutely gutted, just got on the wrong side of, I think, all 3 of the other paddlers and just got pushed too far left.
Yeah, certainly got squeezed out, but for Radilek of the Czech Republic, is going into the final. He joins Pedro Goncalves, Martin Stanovsky, and provisionally Alexander Nepogodin is joining him in the final. But a bit of showboating there from Vavra Hradlek, who, well, he's not all the slalom paddlers go and do big rivers, but he's one of the slalom paddlers who likes nothing more than finding a waterfall, an extreme river to go and get a bit of adrenaline rush when he's not racing in canoe slalom. Let's enjoy the slow-mo of this semi-final, the second semi-final.
That was definitely a strong semi-final. I was so unlucky for both Max and Etienne just to be...
Well, that's a great view of how Etienne got pushed out, having taken the early lead off the ramp. But then Max Carlsen caught the eddy, and that pushed him out of the way as well, and out of a place in the final. So already we know we'll have a new winner in the Extreme Slalom men's event. We just don't know who it's going to be yet. But you'd have to say that Vavra Hradlek is looking pretty strong at this stage in the competition.
Yeah, for sure. He's not afraid to give anyone the shove as well.
Well, there's the confirmation. Vavra Hradlek of the Czech Republic goes through with Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation, and eliminated at this stage Max Carlsen of Sweden and Etienne Chappell of Great Britain, last week's winner. So there's the lineup for the final. Hradlek, Goncalves, Stanovsky and Nepogodin will all start in this afternoon's Extreme Canoe Slalom final. That'll be up next, but first we've got the women's kayak final. Well, we get our breath a moment, and here as the action draws to a close, still 2 gold medals to award here at the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup in Bratislava, Slovakia. We've had a great weekend here. The home crowd were rewarded with a gold medal in the men's kayak event just before lunchtime today. Andrej Malek taking gold for Slovakia. Matej Benus took silver for Slovakia in the men's C1 event. And of course we've had Germany took the first gold in the C1 men with Franz Anton. And then women's K1 it was Karina Kunle for Austria. And in the women's C1, Claire Jacquet for France took the gold. So a pretty even split of the medals so far as we've gone in this competition. And probably reflective of just how, well, the white water is quite unpredictable, very powerful, and has led to a few sort of quite dramatic finals.
Yep, definitely watching the finals. There were a lot more 50s than usual. I think this course is one to catch a lot of people out. And I think a lot of the seniors will be looking to get more experience here, considering, well, I do believe that in 2 years' time, the senior Europeans are here. So they'll definitely be looking to get more experience in racing.
Well, here we are, the finalists in our Extreme Canoe Slalom World Cup here in Bratislava, and 4 boats lining up. So you can see the athletes just getting ready on the ramp, and here's a great aerial shot here of the course. You can see the ramp at the top of the screen, and you can just see how tight it is to get the correct side of that first gate, and how much of an advantage you have. Now, you've earned that advantage because it's all about, there's a seeding timed run that earns you that advantage, but it is lane 1, Zuzana Baleova of Slovakia, who has that advantage. Lane 2, or bib 2, Evie Liebfalk of the United States of America. Then it's Ashley Nee wearing bib number 3 for the United States. And then in bib number 4, Daria Kuznetsova of the Russian Federation. And they're away racing, and it looks like bib 3, Ashley Nee's got a great start in the blue boat and takes the early lead. Then well, as we watch a little bit of carnage, really. Ashley Nee has got a great start here. And then it looks like it's Evie Liebfarth, so it's a USA first two at the moment. Not sure if there's any penalties, though. We need to watch out in case there was any incorrect negotiation. Did you see anything on there, Bethan?
I don't believe so. I know, well, I've seen that obviously Susanna Balachova has been pushed all the way back from, well, second to last.
Well, it's a USA 1-2 at the moment. Ashley Nee is absolutely storming ahead of the rest of the competition there, wearing bib number 3 in the blue boat. Then it is Evie Liebfarth again of the United States of America. Well, looks like there the opportunity is now coming for Daria Kuznetsova of the Russian Federation to snatch a place as they come over the drop. This will be interesting. And it is Evie Liebfarth goes into second place, and Daria Kuznetsova of the Russian Federation into third. Those are provisional results, but it does look like Slovakia's Susanna Balajova was ruled out early on there. Ashley Nee of the United States of America leads a 1-2 in this women's extreme canoe semi-final here. So there, Ashley Nee gets in from the start. Then we see bib number 1, Susanna Balajova, just gets spun out, and Evie Liebfarth of the United States takes absolute advantage of that and snatches second place.
Ashley Nee just sneaking out there in front of Evie, just pushing her in, really opened up the door for the Russian girl, Daria.
So it's gold for the United States of America, and silver for the United States of America, bronze for the Russian Federation. And the Russian Federation did pretty well last weekend in Lee Valley, winning the women's event. But that was Alsa Minnesota, but not racing this weekend. There we have it, the results from the final of the women's extreme canoe slalom. And it's Ashley Nee takes the gold for the United States of America, and Evie Liebfarth, 15-year-old from the United States, takes silver.
Actually, you've hardly had a chance to catch your breath back, but you've won the gold medal here. Well done.
Thank you very much. It's super fun.
Do you like the extreme slalom? What do you like about it?
I love it. Back at home, we paddle a lot of plastic boats, so it's kind of my culture at home, and it's always exciting, and it has a really fun vibe. Everybody's smiling at the end. So.
And we're seeing lots of new faces doing it all the time. I think people are starting to realize this is a fun way to enjoy a canoe slalom weekend.
Yeah, I think it's the best way to end the weekend. There's not as many girls as I'd like to see this run because a lot of Olympic selections are happening at this race and the next couple. So hopefully more and more as the season goes on.
Now, Ashley, you're one of the more experienced paddlers in this discipline. What's the secret? How do you become a good extreme slalom paddler?
I think it's about being aggressive, but also being really calculated. Seeing what's going on and being flexible, having a plan A and a plan B, and just having fun with it and making sure everybody's okay at the end.
That's very important, Ashley. Congratulations. Enjoy. We'll see you next weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, there we have Ashley Nee, the gold medalist in the women's extreme canoe slalom finals here in Bratislava, but straight on to the men's extreme canoe slalom final. And well, what a lineup we've got, and it is Vavra Hradlek, Pedro Goncalves, Martin Stanovsky and Alexander Nepogodin. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. And well, first up, wearing bib number 1, It is Vavrinek Hradilek, the world champion in canoe slalom, the world champion in extreme canoe slalom in 2017. Then it's Brazil's Pepe, or better known as Pepe, Pedro Goncalves, wearing bib number 2, 6th at the Olympic Games in Rio 2016. Then it's Martin Stanovsky of Kazakhstan, wearing bib number 3. And last but not least, wearing bib number 4, it is Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation. Well, we're racing here, and well, a pretty even start as they all squeeze into gate 1, but it's Vavra Hradilek getting the early lead, wearing bib number 1, and well, it looks like already eliminated on the outside was bib number 3, Martin Stanovsky, but Vavra Hradilek now being closely chased down by Pedro Goncalves, and look, this is really interesting. They're both going into opposite sides, and not a lot to choose between them. Hradilek for the Czech Republic has the slight advantage at this stage. And Pedro Goncalves now wearing bib number 2 is second. And in third place it's Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation. So a close final here, but it is Hradilek of the Czech Republic, unless we can see a steal here on the last gates. No, it's going to be the Czech Republic that take gold, Brazil take silver, and the Russian Federation take bronze. But what a close race there, Bethan.
Oh, Pepe was definitely looking to sneak in then and push Vavra out of the way of the last up gate 6. But Vavra just was too quick and just snuck out before he could get on.
Yeah, we've seen a few times you can definitely sneak in on those upstreams, and you might be last in, but you can come first out. And here it is. They're all pretty even on the start, and a lot of action. And, well, that's where we saw bib number 3, Martin Stanovsky, just eliminated at the early stage of the competition. Here we see it, a bit of a close-up. I wonder if we'll get to see how he really gets squeezed down. He's got nowhere to put his paddle. And, well, all's fair in racing there. A great shot there of all the athletes. It was a good close final, and synchronized rolling. Maybe that's a new sport for the Olympic Games. Not synchronized swimming, synchronized rolling. But it's Vavra Hradilek of the Czech Republic who, well, he won the quarterfinals, he won the semi-finals, and he has taken gold here in Bratislava for the men's extreme canoe slalom final. Then Pedro Goncalves of Brazil takes the silver, and it is Alexander Nepogodin of the Russian Federation. There we have it, takes the bronze medal. And well, did you ever doubt that Vavra Hradilek was going to come through after his performances in the quarterfinals and the semis?
I don't know. I knew Pedro was definitely going to give him a run for his...
Vavra, and you love this race. I know you love this race. You must love it even more when you win.
Oh yeah, of course it's better, but I mean it's fun course. There's a lot of diagonal waves and a lot of humps. For slalom venue is super good, even for border cross. So, and we had an awesome fight with Pepe in the final, my good friend, and yeah, I loved it. It was awesome.
What do you like about this race? What do you like about the emotion with it?
You know, it still get you a little, you know, anxiety on the start, and you like a little nervous what's going to happen after just you launch the start ramp, and the first gates obviously are the key for, you know, lining for the good run, and yeah, it's just intense fights between each other, so that's what I like.
And of course, you are a world champion in this event. Is there a secret? Is there something that you would tell anyone doing this that they must try and do?
I don't know. I don't keep my secrets, but I don't know what, you know, everyone kind of have to find its way, and it's you have to be a little aggressive, but still within the rules and within like a fair play game, which sometimes you have to pull out even though you see the line, but if you attack too much, that's so you have to stay humble and like, but keep charging until the end.
Congratulations, mate. Enjoy it. We'll see you again next week, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Well, good to hear. Vavra Hradlek, always a real character on this great sport of canoe slalom. So that concludes the action here at the Bratislava course here in Slovakia. And we've had a great time here at World Cup 2. And of course, next weekend we will be in Slovenia for the third round of the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. It's been a great, exciting afternoon here in the Extreme Slalom. We've also had great action across the weekend. But from Bratislava in Slovakia, it's goodbye. And we'll see you next weekend in Slovenia for World Cup 3 on the Great Tarts and Whitewater course. From me, Andy Maddock, and from Bethan Furrow, thank you for joining me, and goodbye.
Win this race.
Tak je to krásný určitě vyhrát jakýkoliv závod a věřme tomu, že ta disciplína se bude dostávat dál a dál a vždycky je dobrý dojet do cíle, hlavně bez jakýhokoliv jako velkého kontaktu a